little bit more responsible was just completely off the wall.
How many of the Weider principles can you remember? Because I love principles. So they started developing 60s, then through the 70s and 80s, and somehow a lot of them have stayed in modern bodybuilding language, but we've just kind of changed the names of it. But they're still the words.
Yeah, I think isn't muscle confusion one of them,
Yeah.
and then there's
So I think maybe Louis Simmons read that.
the thing that's fascinating about that is that all of Weider, maybe not all of, but a lot of Weider is a response to Hoffman, right? Because Hoffman is very interested in weight training, weightlifting as an Olympic sport and for athletic endeavors. So, like, I don't, have you ever seen a copy of Strength and Health magazine? Okay. So when I was in graduate school, and this was like one of the best things that existed while I was in graduate school, but I wasn't at the time place where I could actually take advantage of it. I had access to a database of like 60 plus years of Strength and Health. And so I was doing some research in something else, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it came across, and I mean, I've been interested in the history of physical culture, if we want to call it that, in strength sports forever, being a history geek myself. So I came across that. And if you actually read the magazines, most of the magazines, weight training is like page 37 of 38. Like, weights are not the primary concern in a lot of those. Many of the covers are like how camping improves your health and how, like, the enemy that is constipation. I swear that's the title of an article.
Okay. Wow. Realize so it was more.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think a lot of the motive here is also based in like the history of how people view this, because I think rather unfairly, but if you were if especially in the 40s and 50s, really Weider is the one who makes this a mainstream idea in the 60s. If you're lifting weights for physique, default presumption seems to be that you're either gay or associated with gay culture in one way or another. Even that, interestingly enough, the Strength and Health magazines that I was able to get access to are part of an LGBTQ um, like archive. It's not just like strength history in and of itself.
Wow, that's really interesting. What sort of period did that change?
Yeah, that's a good question. My
Do you think
bet.
in Sandals era of, like Steve Reeves, Johnny Weissmuller playing Tarzan, uh,
Yeah,
for
that's what I would guess.
the action heroes come point, didn't they? They went from was it like Errol Flynn and Fred Astaire, like skinny little fella. And suddenly you look, there's Steve.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good guess. I would say that would make a lot of sense because bodybuilding gets going in the 60s for whole. I mean, bodybuilding exists beforehand, but it's dominated by Hoffman and weightlifting and all those things. So you have guys like John Grimmick who are champion Olympic lifters, but are also happen to have really good physiques in the process. And then that changes in the, I guess, 50s and 60s, probably because of the things you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, I think if anybody goes back, that won the first bodybuilding.
Close. I mean,